Welcome everyone. So this was the one of the two games played yesterday on Saturday, and the Chicago Sky took on the Minnesota Lynx. The Minnesota Lynx have had quite a schedule lately. They were saying on TV this was their ninth game in 16 days. So I mean, I even noticed. I'm like, geez, Minnesota's playing a lot. Every time you look at the schedule for the day, Minnesota was playing. Either every other day or I mean, they've been, especially since the Commissioner's Cup. So I was wondering if anybody's playing them during this time. This is, especially towards the end of this. You could catch them, and Chicago did. Chicago did. They have been an up and coming team, and now they have Cardoso back, and played a really good game. Atkins, I believe she had 27 points. But Reese was doing her thing. Cardoso was doing her thing. Elizabeth Williams was helping out, getting some good shots on the inside. And Courtney Williams was missing. Geez, I don't know how many games. Courtney Williams wasn't missing it. It didn't even look like she ever missed a shot. I mean, she did. But Courtney Williams was on fire for like the last couple of weeks. And she wasn't today. And I'm actually surprised they didn't put Heidemann in more, just knowing that Courtney was struggling. So, you always hope she catches fire. I think she finally started making some hoops near the end, but she was definitely struggling this game. So let's have a look at the stats. Okay, so the Sky get the win 87-81, and Minnesota was closing like a racehorse. They were, they were trying to get pull out the win even though they were down most of the game. So Chicago outscored them 29-23 in the first, 28-21 in the second. Then this here's when Minnesota started coming back. They outscored them 23-16, but they were just even in the fourth. Minnesota couldn't quite do it this time. So Chicago 87, Minnesota 81. So now Minnesota is 18-4. They're still first in the league. New York is now only behind it by one game. I think I'll have to look at the standings, but I'm pretty sure New York only has 5 losses, or maybe it might be Phoenix that has 5 losses. One of the two of them. And now Chicago is 7-13, and they're gaining. So we had points in the paint. Chicago had 44-28 over Minnesota. Minnesota had some unusual. They had 16 turnovers. So usually whoever wins the turnover battle is, they're going to get it done. And Chicago only had 10, so that's good for them. Let's see here. Biggest lead, Minnesota never led the whole game. And Chicago had a 15-point lead at one time. Okay, so let's see here. Collier, she still did her thing. She shot 50% from the floor, 26 points. Kayla Bride had 17. She's still missing though. I mean, she was 5 for 12 from 3, but she's usually she would normally be like 8 for 12. She's definitely, because she started out hurt this season, and she just hasn't looked the same like her normal McBuckets. Courtney Williams, she shot 30% from the floor and 1 for 5 from 3. So that's she still had 13 points, but she normally would make, instead of 5 shots out of 15, she'd normally make like 9. So just a big difference. And then they didn't get much help from anybody else. Alana Smith had 8 points. Bridget Carlton had 6. Heidemann only had 3. But Heidemann only played 7 minutes. I would have thought they would have played her more. But, they have been on such a long playing, a lot of games in a short amount of time that maybe she was tired. Maybe that was something that they kind of knew they were going to give her a break. Although Courtney Williams usually plays more, so I don't know if that's it. But who knows? But they usually kind of split that 50-50, and they didn't this game. Jessica Shepard only had 2 points. That would have helped them if she had more. She was in for a pretty long time, too, 17 minutes. Diamond Miller had 6. She only played 4 minutes, though. I don't know. You would have thought that with all the games they're playing, they would have stretched it out. So team shooting percentage 39% and 33% from three. Let's see. Rebounds, they had 28. Chicago had 45. Angel Reese ended up having 11 rebounds. Cardoso had 15. Cardoso also had 17 points. Reese had 19. Then you had Ariel Atkins with 27. Rachel Banham has been great. She's been great for them point guard wise. I mean, what a key move when they moved her to point guard. 12 points, 0 turnovers, 5 assists. Angel Reese had 4 assists. Cardoso had 2. This weird last game, Rebecca Allen had, I think, 27 points. This game, she didn't score at all. She didn't shoot much, but she didn't score at all. Kia Nurse didn't score, and Onyenwene had 4 points. I think that covers it. But congratulations, Chicago Sky. That was a great game by them. You know, you got to play great to beat Minnesota, and Minnesota wasn't fully on top of their game. I mean, they still played okay. It wasn't like they played poorly, but they didn't shoot particularly well. Let me see what the team... Yeah, Chicago shot 46%. So 46 to 39. And you win the turnover battle, that's going to get you a win. So congratulations, Chicago. Let's have a look at the standings here. Let's see if I can get that up here. Yeah, you have Minnesota at 18-4. Oh, New York it was Phoenix that had 5 losses the last time I looked. But Phoenix lost one of those games. So that now Phoenix is in second, 14-6. New York is 13-6. Seattle's 13-8. Atlanta's 12-8. And then you have the Valkyries, the Mystics, and the Fever all at 10-10. Vegas is right behind them at 10-11. Chicago is now 7-13. Then you have the Sparks, the Wings, and the Connecticut Sun. So there's, the teams that are, in that 10 win range, they're pushing their way up to the, they're not far behind the Storm and the Dream. And the Dream, they're still good. They're still good, but they can be beat. So can Seattle. But Seattle's kind of up and down. But anyway, great game, Chicago. Great game. Just wonderful. It's so nice to see Cardoso back. She's just a joy to watch, and she loves the game. So, okay, we'll see you next time.